Springfield Township, Pennsylvania is a picturesque and serene community located in Bucks County, just over 50 miles north of Philadelphia. Nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, it offers a blend of rural charm and suburban convenience, with a landscape dotted by historic farmhouses, quaint barns, and stretches of open farmland. Established in the 18th century, Springfield Township is steeped in history, with many of its original stone houses and old mills serve reminders of its colonial past. The township is home to a close-knit population that prides itself on its sense of community and small-town values. Residents enjoy a slower pace of life, often gathering for local events, farmers markets, and church activities that foster a strong sense of belonging. Its peaceful surroundings and scenic beauty make it a haven for those seeking respite from the busyness of nearby cities. However, beneath its calm exterior, Springfield Township, like many small towns, has experienced its share of darker moments, such as the tragic 2008 murder of Rhonda Smith. The juxtaposition of the township's idyllic setting against this grim event serves as a reminder that even the most tranquil communities can harbor hidden secrets and unexpected turmoil. In the serene, close-knit community of Springfield Township, Pennsylvania, a tragic event would soon shatter the peace and unity that the Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church had fostered for decades. It was January 2008 when the congregation was blindsided by a senseless act of violence that claimed the life of one of their most cherished members, Rhonda Smith.
Where's the emergency? Ma'am, hello? Okay, what's the problem?
There's a girl murdered in our office.
There's a girl what?
Murdered! She's laying behind the desk, full of blood.
This murder sent shockwaves not just through the church, but through the entire community, as it became evident that a darker force had been festering within their midst. Rhonda Smith, at 42, embodied the very spirit of compassion, kindness, and resilience. Despite her struggles with bipolar disorder, she remained an active, beloved member of the church. Rhonda's radiant smile, warm demeanor, and willingness to share her journey openly had endeared her to many. Her transparency about her mental health challenges allowed her to form genuine connections within the congregation, earning her the support, empathy, and friendship of countless members, including the pastor. She found solace in her faith and the sanctuary of the church, where she volunteered tirelessly as an office worker and graced the choir with her melodic voice. But behind the scenes, another church member, Mary Jane Fonder, a 65-year-old woman who had been attending Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church for years, harbored deep-seated feelings of isolation and unfulfilled longing. Fonder yearned for attention, companionship, and a sense of belonging. But despite her efforts, she felt perpetually on the fringes of the congregation. Her loneliness turned into obsession when she became fixated on the church pastor, interpreting his acts of kindness and pastoral care as romantic interest. As Rhonda grew closer to the pastor and gained more recognition and support from the church community, Fonder's longing transformed into envy, then into an all-consuming rage. In her mind, Rhonda wasn't just another member of the congregation. She was a rival, a threat to the fantasy life that Fonder had built around her imagined relationship with the pastor. On the morning of January 23, 2008, the tranquil, holy atmosphere of Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church would be shattered forever. Rhonda arrived at the church office as usual, ready to assist with administrative tasks. Unbeknownst to her, this day would be her last. As Rhonda sat alone, immersed in her work, Fonder entered with a concealed .38 caliber revolver. In a moment of sheer madness and cold calculation, Fonder shot Rhonda twice in the head, leaving her bleeding and unconscious on the floor. When Rhonda was discovered shortly after, the scene was one of horror and disbelief.
Last time you were there, or you know of anyone being at the church, it's not usually open like during the day or anything like that?
The church doors are never open.
So did you have to unlock it to get in today?
No, it was unlocked today.
She was rushed to the hospital, but the severity of her injuries left little hope. By that evening, she was declared brain dead, and the life support sustaining her was turned off. The congregation was plunged into a state of collective grief and confusion, struggling to comprehend how such a violent act could occur in a place they considered a sanctuary. As the investigation unfolded, the authorities initially struggled to find leads. The close-knit nature of the church made it difficult to fathom that one of their own could be responsible.
She loved this church, and we loved her. We embraced her, and she embraced us.
However, the behavior of Mary Jane Fonder began to draw attention. Her increasingly erratic actions, obsessive voicemails to the pastor, and intrusive gestures of affection raised suspicions.
So it's up to you if you want to have a discussion about life matters at the present time today. Anyway, I'm busy at home watching the squirrel eating outside and enjoying this beautiful sunny day.
The pastor confided in the police about her peculiar behavior, and investigators learned that Fonder had called the church office that very day, seemingly to confirm that Rhonda would be there alone. These pieces of information began to point to Fonder, but the investigators needed concrete evidence to link her to the crime. The breakthrough in the case came months later, in April 2008, when a fisherman made a startling discovery near Lake Nakamixon. Hidden beneath the murky waters was a .38 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Forensic testing soon confirmed that this gun was registered to none other than Mary Jane Fonder. Armed with this evidence, detectives delved deeper into Fonder's life and uncovered a disturbing entry in her calendar. It contained Rhonda's name, marked ominously with the word murder, written beside it. Despite this mountain of incriminating evidence, Fonder remained in denial, maintaining that she had admired Rhonda and had no reason to harm her. The case finally went to trial in October 2008.
Jealousy and murder, and today the woman accused of murdering a fellow church parishioner is going before a judge. CBS 3's Bucks County reporter Leslie Van Arsdal is there live. She has the story for us. Leslie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pat. And today we heard from 4 state troopers who testified to finding the gun they believe was used to kill Rhonda Smith, a gun that belonged to Mary Jane Fonder. And in the end, the judge ruled there was more than enough evidence to hold Fonder for trial.
Prosecutors laid out a chilling portrait of Mary Jane Fonder, a woman driven to murder by jealousy, obsession, and unrequited love. They argued that Fonder's twisted delusions and desperate need for the pastor's affection led her to see Rhonda as an obstacle that needed to be eliminated. The evidence was overwhelming.
On her way into court this morning, when asked if she killed Rhonda Smith, 65-year-old Mary Jane Fonder said no. Pleading not guilty at her preliminary hearing, Fonder is charged with killing 42-year-old Rhonda Smith inside Trinity Evangelical Church on January 23rd, shooting her twice in the head. Prosecutors say the motive was jealousy. Fonder had strong feelings for the church pastor and was jealous of the attention that he gave to Smith. Today, the lead investigator in the case testified before her death. Fonder, who sang with Smith in the church choir, found out that she was also receiving financial support from the church.
And despite her continuous claims of innocence, the jury found her guilty of first-degree murder.
Murdered.
The way this case has been investigated and the way the whole case unraveled, no one in the public knew that this was a murder until April 1st, when the coroner's office officially determined that this was a murder. And that's the day that Mary Jane Fonda was arrested.
Obviously, it was written in later on. She wrote in the hairdresser, which was later on the afternoon, like 11:30. And then she went back and made notes after the church had called her.
Fonder was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, leaving the congregation to grapple with the reality that one of their own could be capable of such a heinous act. Rhonda Smith's murder served as a stark reminder that even within the walls of a place dedicated to peace, love, and faith, dark and destructive emotions can take root. The church, once a sanctuary for Rhonda and a source of comfort, became the site of her tragic and untimely death. Her story stands as a haunting example of how jealousy, loneliness, and unfulfilled desires can twist into something truly deadly, leaving a community forever changed.